The Blue Falcon Podcast, Part 2. I'm on a roll right now. I think I have 2 strikes with these gentlemen. This is Marine veteran Dylan over here to my left. And down here is Mr. Corey. Corey is a intel officer of, 20-something years. And then Dylan is an infantry gentleman. And I'm probably going to get a lot of text messages later tonight about how much I got to work on my game here. So let's reintroduce each other. And it's sad that we weren't streaming because we killed it that first 10 minutes.
All right, so are we streaming now?
I mean, if I had somebody like helping me with this thing, yeah, no, you're good. Yeah, we're streaming now.
Okay. All right. Woo.
Hey, I don't want to hear it.
Where do you want to start off?
Yeah, just a little bit about yourself and a 1-minute spiel about Dylan Morgan. What's Dylan Morgan all about?
Yeah, hey guys, Dylan Morgan here. I spent 4 years in the Marine Corps Infantry, and out of 21 of those 48 months, I was spent deployed overseas. My last tour, I actually volunteered for. So the majority of my experiences in the services have been deployed to other countries. And I'm a good old Oklahoma boy, so I'm willing to talk about anything. I'm educated, and I definitely love a good conversation with somebody who enjoys and has an open mind about everything.
That was great, Dylan. Well done. You get an A. Next, we have Mr. Corey, the People's Bartender.
Yes, that is my TikTok handle, the People's Bartender. I feel like I can provide the intelligent and common sense conversation to pretty much any topic. My background is 20-year Marine. I spent the last 10 years as an intel officer. I had a pretty unique career path, or at least a common one. Did a tour with SOCPAC, the Special Operations Command in the Pacific, and then I did a tour at the NSA, and then I did a tour with 1-3 out of Hawaii, and rounded out my 20 years at MAR4 PAC G2 there at Camp Smith. So I have a lot of insight on our government, our military, and how we really do things versus how all those conspiracy nuts think we do things.
What do you mean conspiracies?
I don't give a shit.
Let's hear it.
Well, no, because we'll go down that rabbit hole, and we should probably start off with what we originally talked about.
Okay, fine. All right, so he wants to talk about...
Hold on, somebody said conspiracies.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, no.
Okay. There is no World War III looming. There is no Chinese invasion of America. They're doing quite well on every other front. We could talk about UFOs, and I will keep that as unclassified as possible. There are no lizard people.
Well,
there's no hollow earth.
Let's talk about Palestine. Let's talk about that conspiracy theory. And Corey, I really do miss that. You had something so perfect earlier. I'm not sure if you can fire yourself from a podcast, but I'm thinking I may get a letter in the mail anytime. You have an opinion about Palestine that's unique because of your experience in the intel environment. So as a civilian looking at the situation and all the madness, what are you taking from all this?
Well, I can't really stand the left and anybody that's soft on Palestine talk about free Palestine and screw Israel. When you can't dismiss what the Palestinians do and then feel sympathetic for their situation. I find it hilarious when I see LGBTQ communities out there say, free Palestine. It's like, well, if you were in Palestine, they'd throw you off a roof. So I don't know why you're siding with them. But to a more deeper point that we discussed earlier, The Palestinians will never be free because there's the Hamas, and their stated goal is the complete destruction of Israel. And until they get that out of their brains, they're never going to be free, because Israel's just not going to stand for that. And then they really have to stop teaching their children, from the point they can learn, to hate and kill Israelis. They also need to stop taking all of the funding and resources that Israel gives them and that other nations give them, and then turn around and use that money and resources to conduct terrorist activities. And until they stop the hate, and until they understand that they could just have a nice, free country without wanting to kill their neighbor, they're never going to see the peace and freedom they swear they long for.
And that was me seeing how long I could get you to just freeze there for a minute. That was funny. All right. Now let's talk about Dylan's opinion, because Dylan, I feel like you don't really look at things in that nature on a global scale, right? You're more of your experience is in infantry, right? Boots on the ground. Mm-hmm. And everyone who's, I feel like, not in the military is like, we should go over there and fuck them up. And I don't know about you guys, but I don't meet very many veterans who want war. So
War's
it's
racket,
really,
man. War is the number one money making motherfucking racket. All right, Smedley Darlington Butler. Okay, he is a Marine Corps officer, and I know Corey knows exactly who he is. He is the one that said it best. Say that again.
I know about what you're going to say too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, war is a racket. I mean, it's literally all about, the money, and hey, there needs to be, more steel being made. There needs to be, more leather being pumped out for the saddles back when they used to ride horses. We need more wheels on the ground. We need more boots on the ground. Well, you know what that equates to? That's petroleum. There's all sorts of different things that happen in war. We need more ammunition. We need more refineries. We need more this, more that. And honestly, no, I don't like war. I think it's completely horrific. For someone who's been in combat before, it's not something that is idolized or is freaking amazing. No, it sucks. Like, nobody should have to go through that, especially seeing 11-year-old little kids getting blown up because their parents have ingrained in their mind, like, hey, you have to do this. This is the way. This is what you have to do. I think it's terrible. So my opinion is definitely, they need to learn more. I think a lot of it has to do with the education. A lot has to do with upraising and religion, and a lot of it has to do with invoking idealistic ideologies that are not nature to them from outside, pushing in. So those are all aspects that I believe to have pretty big impacts on those issues right there.
That's not what Tucker Carlson would say. I think Tucker Carlson feels a lot differently than you do. Dylan.
You know what? Tucker Carlson can also kiss my ass too, because Tucker has a lot of shit that he can say, but he also has a lot of stuff that he can't say, that he's tongue-tied, or that he's got somebody, doing this right here. Tucker, say something. Say something. Let me tell you to say something. That's what Tucker does.
He's the modern day soap opera fantasy.
Well, yeah.
Right? Like, ooh, Tucker, tell me. Fucker Carlson.
No, I don't have anything bad to say about Tucker Carlson. I don't know the guy. So it's back to Tucker. Yeah, you're fine by me, buddy.
So here's my 2 cents on that.
Okay.
He's an unfortunate reaction to necessary evil to CNN and MSNBC. They're talking heads on both those channels. Are absolutely terrible people. And in response to that, somebody on the right had to basically stand up and be their counterbalance. I don't agree with probably half of what Tucker says, but
yeah, that's a lot.
It's kind of along those lines of the right needs to be able to stand up and tell the left to shut the fuck up, and he's kind of the spokesperson for that right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna, I guess, go a different route. I feel like if someone's taking a shit in your bed, and then someone else comes and takes a shit in the bed just to even things out, it's not really good for me.
Well, shit. But at the end of the day, you can't be silent.
But I don't think he talks for us, is what I'm saying. Right?
That's the thing. I would disagree. I think that he does. I just don't think he's consistent. And he still does that corporate, warmongering party line.
Yeah, he's getting paid, and he's getting paid. He's going to say, in my opinion, he's going to say whatever they want him to say.
Which is what I'm trying to say. Like, that's why I don't think that he speaks for us.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, yeah, I don't think he does either. I don't think there really is anybody that speaks for what we are talking about. Which Dylan, you had said something earlier about, it's kind of an American first mantra. And where we don't need to be doing these wars all the time, and the war machine, you're kind of touching base on those. And there's really nobody that does that. I mean, Trump
that's us. Really that's the Blue Falcon Podcast, man. We're pulling the biggest Blue Falcon of all time.
Yeah, the United States.
No, we're gonna how do I put this? Sometimes the Blue Falcon saves the day.
Not in military terms. He doesn't.
Well, when you look at it from a point of view that I'm really trying to develop, that's probably not going to work out in my favor. But I'm not anybody's buddy. I'm not the DNC's buddy. I'm not the GOP's buddy. So they look at me as probably the Blue Falcon. Like, look at this, Christian American conservative. He's totally pulling a Blue Falcon on us. And I'm like, bro, I'm bringing the flock. Like, get ready.
And I would say that that's where the COT is going, or at least a lot of the bases. I mean, look at the ousting of Cheney.
House of Cheney.
I mean, anybody that voted to impeach Trump needs to go.
Right.
And this America First kind of MAGA constant, this push from the ground up is probably as close as you're going to get to the flock.
Well, fuck me. I disagree.
Well, Corey, let me spin this in another direction. Let me ask you a question, Corey. Do you know how many bases the United States operates in outside of the United States? How many bases that we have in other countries?
Over 800 as far as I can say.
Okay, and just if you have the answer, great. If not, I mean, because I don't know this, I'm just wondering what the next closest country to having that many, or what the next closest country to having that many bases. Do you know that?
It's China with a resounding 3.
3?
They have a colony basically in Sri Lanka, and they have their base in Djibouti.
Who's booty?
And they're doing their little, and they own their now. And they're starting to make inroads in the Americas, or the Polynesian American islands.
They're starting to make roads in America too, because they're buying up all the real estate.
Yeah.
Now, if people don't understand what's going on, they need to open their fucking eyes realistically and see that we brought this war back home to America, and I'll say it from day one. Right now is I think that we do have a war, and I think that the war is with ourselves. I think that we have a two-party broken system, and I think that it's a little left and a little right, but there's no. I think Bobby's trying to say, where's that other voice at? Well, with it being so broken and the Americans overstepping, I think that Americans are overstepping, and we have overstepped too much. And now that we have overstepped too much, we are bringing that back home is kind of where I'm getting at. Since we have been dipping our hands in so many different Kool-Aids, so to speak, now that we're trying to pull back home, I think that we're going to have more problems here at home than we do anywhere else. I mean, it goes to show we've 800 some odd bases in different countries. That is ridiculous. Why do we need to have 800?
I know.
Why don't you
I know.
bring it back home? Sorry.
I know why. I was just trying to calm you down before you get the cops called to the hotel room.
Well, okay, sorry.
You're good. So this is why Dylan's my friend. This is why right here. I would venture off to guess that, as you were mentioning earlier, that War Machine, right? That War Machine needs to be funded because yachts ain't cheap. And there's every new year a new edition of a Lamborghini. So, I would probably venture off to guess that I'm just going to sink in slowly and pull an Epstein if I keep talking like this. But I really do think that we have the opportunity to do something as this generation has the opportunity. But what my distraction is, and if you look at my TikToks, you'll see how many people disagree with me from the MAGA team. They're like, why aren't you, hating this, or why aren't you hating that? It's really funny. Some of the things I say, very conservative people say, oh, well, you must, be a leftist, huh? And I'm like, that's not what's going on here at all. That's hilarious that you would think that. And I had a discussion last night with a guy. Like, when people ask me what my political affiliation is from now on, I'm just going to say American. American.
Well, and for me, I say constitutional, but I mean, I'd say probably along the same lines.
I believe in the Constitution.
I'm an American, so
probably not many people believe in what the Constitution is now anymore.
You've been hanging out with the old folks down at the coffee shop, huh?
Yeah. No, and here's my stance, Corey. I'm a libertarian. I lean more to the right, but I have some socialist, not socialist, but some social views as well. Hey man, I like Ron Paul. Okay, I think that there needs to be more than just a two-party system, and I think libertarianism is a good fate. Have a community get together, have them, pay for their own roads. But let's just focus on one thing. I want to get back to what we were talking about. Yeah, it is war. We are a war machine, bro. We're just continuously after this, and we're just going into debt. So, Corey, let me ask you this, man. And this is coming from somebody that, from one veteran to another. We're all veterans here, but this is just something I think that would help fix the deficit. It's not gonna be something overnight, but this will help with getting us out of war. If you have been to a combat zone, or you have seen combat, you lost a limb, you're a Purple Heart recipient, hey, you don't pay taxes ever again in your life.
Well, I mean, that's a great thought. I was in Congress, I'd go for that. But to me, seriously,
that takes us, and I'm sorry, I'm not trying to cut you off. I'll just say that takes us to where, hey, we won't be pushing for wars anymore, but we're going to have to pay more people. They'll be tax-free. So if these people are tax-free when they're coming home, we don't have to sit there and no wars.
Well, I agree.
I disagree, 100%. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard today.
What?
That's the dumbest thing I've heard today.
How is that dumb?
What do you mean?
There's a lot of veterans that are very, very successful. Most actually entrepreneurs have some kind of veteran background. if you look percentage-wise, as far as groups of people.
I'm not saying that
that's nothing to do with your 45,000 people that have been lost limbs in the last 10 or 20 years.
Okay. Okay. So it's 2v1 here. I'm going to show me Daniel's video all of a sudden. All right, here you go. We have this concept of group ideology, and if you say that veterans deserve tax-free incentives, then would you not say that police should also have that? The fire department members should also have that? That teachers shouldn't have that? I mean, like, you're going to go down the line to where all of a sudden no one's paying taxes. And the military is a choice.
So hold on. With regards to people that risk life and limb, if they've actually lost a limb or suffered to such a degree due to not that actual combat conflict, they should. I mean, I think that's a great idea.
But they do. That is theirs. They do get tax-free income.
No, what we're saying is they shouldn't pay taxes at all.
Ooh, okay.
And what's wrong with that? That's such a small subset of people. And they're also people that only actually now. Of course, I would even go into certain case fraud. Say a cop here or there that puts themselves in danger so they can check that box. But that's such a minor group of people that wouldn't even do anything.
Okay. We're also arguing about a theoretical right now. So good. Yeah.
So for me personally, I think that's a good idea.
Okay.
But with regards to the war machine in general and at large, it's interesting because there's so much pushback from both the left and the right. Obama tried to actually curtail our spending in the military by reducing our policy from being able to fight two world wars off each coast to just fighting off of one coast and then doing regional conflicts. And he got so much hate for that. But it would have reduced our costs. The $700 billion we spend every year, he was really just trying to rein some of that in. And then also Trump. Trump was a huge proponent of he wanted to pull every single troop out of Korea. He's basically like we have like how many bases in Korea? We have like 15 that don't need to be there.
Right.
It's ridiculous. It's just
and so. Yeah, it is an extreme waste of money. And Trump noticed this. And everybody on the right hated him for trying to reduce spending.
Well, he's just breaking apart the NATO partners. Don't you understand that the people and the alliances that we have, we need them. No, motherfuckers, they need us. And we ain't playing no more.
Well, not only do they need us, but they need us.
Oh, that's not even a discussion. Let's just say get out of here.
The idea that Russia is some sort of threat anymore is so fucking stupid.
You have no expertise. Wait, hold on. Yes, you do.
We don't want to go to war with Russia. We don't want to go to fucking war with China. We want money, but we hold. The thing is, man, it's all about drugs. It's all about power. It really is. It's all about drugs. 90% of the world's opium comes out of Afghanistan. Fact. If you can't, pharmaceuticals don't. That's the reason why we're in Afghanistan right there, is because of fucking opiates. So, if we want to talk conspiracies, but I know we're
no, it's not a conspiracy. That I was told that during EOD training, like we were taught how to, sweep fields and all this other stuff.
I was straight up in pre-mission briefings.
Oh, really? Hey, if you guys find any heroin, if it's out there, let us know exactly where it's at, and we'll send someone out there to destroy it.
We did have this program that failed miserably. We would protect your farm, stop growing these crops, we'll pay you money, and then we would leave. And then the Taliban would come in and be like, if you don't grow these crops, we're going to kill you. because that classic saying of they may have the watches, but we have the time.
That's
out.
true.
And what's so crazy is it hit home to me the other day when in Afghanistan when that school building was hit, because when I was there in Delaware, we had a school building literally right behind our COP. Basically, it wasn't even a COP. It was a substation, a governor's substation that we had taken over and we were running patrols out of. But buttoned up right next to us was a cemetery and then a little school for the children. And man, I knew that we all knew that was their big target. They didn't want, us to be around any of them. They threatened the Taliban would come in and threaten, the school. Hey, there was a shootout between the sub-governor's cook and the Taliban, because we were there. So it was really disheartening to see that school building and those kids, because, we have to remember, it's all about the children. Hearts and minds is what we try to preach, and hearts and minds is what they try to get into the heart or ingrained into Americans' minds. That's what we're doing. But in reality, it's not what we're doing. But I do feel bad for those kids, because those kids deserve a lot more, and it just kind of sucks,
I have a weird story that I will share, and I definitely am not proud of this by any means. And Dylan, I'm sure you probably ran into this a lot, and I actually saw a TikTok, which I'm sure Corey you've seen, that's similar to this. But when I first got to my EOD unit in 2014, there's another guy there. We'll call him Duds. We'll call him Duds. But he used to be an engineer. And by the way, just so civilians know, engineers aren't engineers how you think of civilian-wise. And they were doing route clearance. Previously, the kids had gotten water thrown to them from the transport. I guess one day they thought it'd be funny, and this is Duds telling the story to a group of, I don't know, probably 5 or 6 of us, and the other 5 guys were kind of like, "Oh yeah, what'd you guys do?" And I'm like, "I don't think this is gonna go how you think it is. Like, this sounds like he's not going to throw water at kids. Like, this sounds, what are you going to do to make this funny? Because I'm waiting for it." And I saw Duds talk about how they froze the water and then threw them at the kids. And laughed. And the other 5 guys laughed. I didn't fucking laugh. I was like, that's really fucked up, dude. That's really fucked up. And we wonder why. I wonder about a lot of things. But it's unfortunate to see human people do that. Especially to children, to anyone. But the capacity you have in your mind for compassion has to be so bankrupt in order to do something like that. I'm convinced.
Yeah, well, that's kind of that location that going to Iraq or Afghanistan for a period of time, it can become dehumanizing. You become desensitized to the situation, and you become sadistic even. Remember, I'll never forget the Marine that threw the puppy over the cliff. It's just
gosh, man.
It just, when you stick Marines on posts,
I'm not moved by it.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Dylan.
I was just going to say, we're sitting here and talking about it. Like, you literally just said it's dehumanizing. Like, I know it's that little puppy, but I'm not torn up about that little puppy either, though. But I understand what you're talking about.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because that's what it is. Yeah, you're right. It's I don't know what I'm trying to say.
Well, I understand what you guys are saying, and maybe I need to be more clear. Okay, sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead, Corey, and then I'll do it.
Well, and then when you stick these kids on posts for, there was a YouTube where this 19-year-old kid was on post for 13 hours.
I saw that YouTube video
by himself.
He's like
And
dancing.
he just recorded himself losing his mind. And that can happen in that short period of time when you're by yourself.
Yep.
And then you turn around and ask these Marines to care. And it's like why? Why should they? And then you get the results that you get. We just ask way too much of people. So
I agree. And I guess what I was also getting at is I saw his compassion as bankrupt, as in like he had compassion before. So are these other guys around me, right?
Yeah.
And as humans, we have a meter that can be drained. And after 20-something years of war, I mean, shit. What do you think was going to happen?
Yeah, I have buried 70 Marines. And over the course of my time doing that, it became like another number. I was burying one person every 2 weeks. And so I attended 70 funerals. And it became like a job. And I look back and how sad that is that I have that thought. That it's just another thing to do. And don't get me wrong, I was there and we presented the flags and rifles and we did everything right. We were always super respectful, but behind the scenes it was like, nobody cared. And I actually regret ever thinking.
I'm really sorry, man. That's I didn't know that. You didn't tell me that until now.
Yeah, I actually don't tell a lot of people that. And I should, because even though I regret those thoughts and the conversations I had with the Marines before after funerals, by and large, I was actually really proud that I provided that service to the families. I think, but like I said, you just do this stuff day in and day out, and it does become a little known. What, did we lose Dylan?
Yeah, we lost Dylan. I thought you were going to say something else, so I went over just to you. Sorry, hold on. We'll see if Dylan calls me back. Maybe the internet dropped there at his hotel. This chair, I think Satan made it, dude. This chair is so uncomfortable. This is the worst chair ever. Oh my gosh.
I'm telling you, get a gamer chair.
Which one? Like, what's a good brand to go with?
Well, my wife has Respawn.
Okay, Respawn it is. I'm going to spend my stimulus check money, my free money that I didn't have to pay for, to do that.
That you just paid for.
I know.
Well, a good chair will get you about $150 maybe.
I think that's what I paid for this piece.
Don't go cheap. Oh, well, the gamer chairs, I mean, like a good one will be about $150.
Okay.
But they're super comfortable.
Give me 1 second here, man. I don't want to ask you anything else serious because I do have another question, but I want to wait till I get this up right. What's your favorite thing to do on TikTok now? What's your trendy go-to?
Well, I haven't been able to get back into TikTok really ever since I had COVID.
You told me it wasn't COVID.
My favorite. What's that?
You told me it wasn't COVID.
Well, at first it wasn't. I mean, I had pneumonia and COVID. So I had a bacteria and a virus both trying to kill me.
Sounds like the government.
But they didn't discover it was COVID until I was in the ICU.
Wow. That's insane.
Yeah, it was, dude, I'm telling you, I was a step away from being intubated.
Yeah. What'd you tell the doctors?
Well, I fucking said, I don't want to be intubated.
Not today.
I want to be, because I was like, I read the studies, doc. Like 80% of those that get intubated don't wake up again. And he looked at me all shocked, like, "What are you talking about?" And I was like, "Okay, I understand that's more for the elderly and those with comorbidities, but no, thank you."
Yeah, the odds are never in my favor there. I feel like.
Yeah.
There we go. Perfect. All right, so back to the serious conversation, and then we'll end on a lighter note. Thank you again for sharing that, Corey. Like that's. I think that may be something that I didn't realize contributes to who you are as a person. I think that may be why you're so compassionate, calm, cool, and collected, and care about what's going on right now. So thank you.
Well, thanks.
What advice would you give for young men and women who are in the service right now? I actually have two friends who are in basic training right now. What advice would you give? One is actually one of my history teachers, his son. He's Army infantry. He's written me 2 letters. They're really funny. It's 1-page letters. And the other one was in Navy basic. He left yesterday. Hey, Dylan.
Sorry, I missed you guys. Sorry about that.
No, you're good, brother. I'm gonna get Corey on here.
Can you hear me,
Dylan?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, cool. So with this next generation of young men and women in the service and the wartime experiences you had, how would you explain to them the best way to deal with that kind of situation if they were to find themselves in that?
Where they have to bury you.
Yeah, where it almost becomes, like you said, you feel like it was a job. Like, how do you deal with that mentally?
Geez, let's see. How do you answer that? You have to stay grounded. You have to remember what you're doing and why you're doing it. And you also have to be so. I feel like you need to be extremely mentally aware of your situation and how you perceive the world at that time. Because it's only when you recognize that you're feeling, almost like at a dehumanizing level, and you only then take a step back and reassess your situation and realize kind of refuel up on what it means to be what you're doing and just to be a human, and then start to empathize with those that you are providing these services for. And if you were in their shoes, how would you want to do it? So that's my thought.
I got something else that I have not heard that's not talked about very much. What experience do you have or advice would you have also on the, I don't want to call it a follow-up, that's the only thing I know to call it, because it's not a follow-up, but the families, I'm sure you know. So the conversations with them, of these young men and women, like the 70 Marines, right? I'm sure you probably, maybe some of them you knew, like some of the family members or the wives, or am I making sense?
Like the ongoing support?
It was a job.
Okay.
I mean, at the end of the day, I only buried one of my friends. And that was obviously a unique or very common experience. But we provided full services for his funeral. And I stood watch over him. And the family, the thing is, the families always want to invite us to their wakes. And it's such a hard thing to say no. Like you got to respect the fact that this is really a family affair.
Right.
And if you're there providing that service, so you need to, it's more respectful for you to do about how once you're done providing that service.
Man. All right. Well, thank you for sharing that, Corey.
Because then it becomes all for certain. The thing is, they want to make it. People tend to want to make it about the Marines that are there. It's
not.
And it's like, no, it's about the Marines there. And so they don't mean to do it, but it's the only thing they feel. It's like a relatability for the family and the friends. It's like, unless I was a personal friend, I wasn't going to go.
Right.
Yeah.
Dylan, what are your thoughts on that? I know you've had some experiences that changed your life. So I was telling Corey that I have a few friends who are in basic training right now, and like, what's some advice you would give to these younger generation men and women who are serving?
What's the advice I would give them nowadays?
Right after the wartime experiences and stuff you've had.
You know, I mean, honestly, my advice would be proficient at your job. Figure out what it is that you're wanting to do, whatever it is. Be proficient. Be the best at it, and you know, don't let anybody take you down. But be yourself, and you know, I guess that's what I have on that. You know, just be the best sailor, be the best Marine, be the best Army man, that person that you can be, and you know, just be true to yourself. And hey, you signed up for it, so get the most out of it. You know,
right?
I mean, it's something that you did, so go be you.
Would you say be all you can be?
No, I didn't say that. I said go be you.
I'm just saying it sounds like that's
so
exactly
let's just
what
make
you
sure
said.
that never comes up again.
Okay.
Yeah. Something like that.
All right.
Yeah.
The pipeline.
And no, yeah, Corey, and I'm with you, man, Corey. I mean, I had to. I buried my best friend. I buried my roommate, and it was a tough thing to do. And I folded the flag. You know, my Kevin Oliver, he actually presented the flag, and you know, they said, you know, you basically got to shove it in their chest because that's their flag. Like, they are taking that flag home. Like, that is no longer your property. That is their property. Once it touches their hands, that is theirs. And you know, I'm starting to get goosebumps just thinking about it because, I mean, that's not something that you think about, and it's not something that everybody else thinks about either, though. The transition, the moving, the cadence, the count, the actual folding it, and the making sure that, you know, there's no red lines being visible. Those little things, you know, probably aren't thought about, but those Marines that are doing it, they're making sure that flag is folded correctly. They're making sure that, you know, everything is done right, especially if that Marine served with them. You know, I made sure that every single thing that I was doing was just to the T, because, you know, we're honoring him, and I was honoring San Sen at the time. He was from Cambodia. He was my best friend. He got shot in Afghanistan. I wasn't with him when he got shot. He had actually volunteered. He was in 1st Battalion, 7th Marines. He was in Suicide Charlie with me, and he volunteered to go be combat replacement for 2-7. And while he was over there, he you know, got shot and killed, and you know, we had to bury him. So, and it sucks, man. You had to do it 70 times. I only had to do it one time, and it was the hardest thing I could have done, you know. And it was terrible, man. And that was something I don't want to have anybody experience. But, you know, depending on what your job title is for those new people coming up in this world, just remember that you had people doing this before you, and you need to respect them. You need to respect the uniform that you put on. You need to respect the knowledge that you learn. You need to respect the people that are teaching it to you, because here's what I taught my Marines. I said, I'm teaching you something, and I'm teaching it for a reason. I said, if I'm checking you for your kill cards every day, it's because you're supposed to have your kill cards in your left breast pocket or in your shoulder pad. So as soon as I come up, I can check you. You know what? Your dog tag's supposed to be in your left boot, in between the second and third bootlace. Like, I'm checking you for these things because I need to make sure that I can count on you and I can rely on you. So be reliable, be accountable.
Be reliable. That's good. That's good advice right there.
Be somebody that I can count on. Be somebody that other people can count on. Be a good, whatever it is that you're going to be. I mean, that's the advice that I would give. And quit being pieces of shit, you little fucking pussies. God damn it. You know what? You're going to get hazed, you little bitch. So just shut the fuck up, take it, and god damn it, it'll be all right.
It was so sweet. Like, I can only imagine somebody listening to this like, oh, that's so inspirational. Holy shit, what's going to happen next?
I mean, listen, hey, hazing happens. You know what? Sometimes it's not hazing. Sometimes
you're not supposed to tell them about it. Otherwise, it's not hazing.
You need to learn. It's educational. It's training. God damn it.
All right. Well,
and I'll tell you what, I would never back my staff NCO. I would never back my corporal. I would never back talk any of my Marines, especially in suicide, man, or especially in an infantry battalion. You just don't disrespect your senior Marines because they have the knowledge. Those guys are what's going to keep you alive. I have to rely on them to know their shit. Seriously. I mean, you have to remember that. I mean, Corey, you can tell me this is wrong or right, but I mean, I have to make sure that the guy right next to me knows my job and the job next to him and the job next to him. Because if one of those guys go down, I expect him to pick up the fucking slack. Or I've got to do the exact same thing too. And, I've got to make sure these guys know what to do. And especially in situations that it's going to be hard, they're going to be sweating. And you know what? They're not going to be sitting, they're having, ice cups of cold water and timeout cards during fucking combat. You can't just say timeout, guys. I need a special safe space.
Or Space Force. There's that too. And this is brought to you by the Marine Recruiting Company. I can't wait to have it.
We all start coming back. Everything Dylan was saying was like, yep, this sounds like a recruiting video or something my staff would do.
And honestly, I wasn't sure to let it keep going or what to do. Like, probably scared the shit out of like some of the
it's not it's wrong.
Right.
It's just funny how the moment you start getting like a rhythm, and I'm like, I've heard this somewhere before.
That's awesome. Oh my gosh. Okay.
I do what I can, guys. I do what I can.
We have 5% left on my iPad, which I think is probably a pretty good idea for us to close this out slowly. So on a positive note, gas prices are going, increasing, right? I was wanting to get y'all's take.
Who's that good for, Bobby?
Bro, I got gas.
We all got gas, and everybody poops.
Speaking of pooping, you guys remember the 2020 pandemic special for toilet paper? The toilet paper,
No, I don't think I caught that one.
Sarcasm isn't lost on me. So there's this website, findthetp.com, which is gone now. Hold on a second. Where did it go? Findthetp.com.
Before this gets weird, Corey, it was a pleasure meeting you, sir.
It's not pulling up now. Well, I don't know why this isn't pulling up, so I'm just kidding. I was really excited about that too. I was going to show you guys. So disappointing, bro. Y'all don't even know. You don't even know.
Now, Corey, to pick your brain a couple of times, man. I mean, I think that you've got some probably pretty interesting insight for some different things. And dude, I've got this book that I think that you would love called In Search of the Miraculous.
Okay.
It's a good book. It's by P.D. Ospinski. It's a book about stories and self-awareness and all sorts of different good things.
Oh, you could also look up while looking up what's it called? What's the name of it?
Oh, In Search of the Miraculous.
Speaking of miraculous, bam!
Oh, look at that.
So that's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see how it pays off for him. The pipeline panic. Can you believe people these days?
You know what I really hate is the, as far as conspiracy theories, is everybody thinking that there's like this grand plan or strategy. This pipeline happened. The second biggest one in Israel or whatever was attacked, and it's all like this huge coordinated effort, and it is giving way too much credit to this cabal that doesn't really exist.
I agree.
We our government and even the private sector, those that are in charge and whatnot, the ineptitude, actually, and the inability to actually do their jobs efficiently is the real thing nobody ever talks about. And they give this way too much credit to something that doesn't exist. This shit like this, pipeline, it just fucking happens. There wasn't like some mastermind, you need to crash this pipeline and go blow that one over there, and nobody's doing this. And the fact that we have all these conspiracy theorists thinking that this, it's mind-numbingly stupid.
I'm not sure that you're in on it, Corey. I think you might be part of it. You were an intel.
Kind of sounds like he is part. He knows way too much to me.
So how much are you getting paid here?
Somebody actually asked me one time if I was a white hat. And I looked that up. And I don't mean like a cyber white hat actor. No, there's a whole belief structure out there that Trump is still the president, and there's this team of
Wait, he's not?
of white hats that himself.
Hold on, dude. I think that you just need to wake up. Is what you need. You better wake up soon.
That's what I hate. Everybody on TikTok, like,
You better wake up.
Wake up, America.
Hey, if this is, if y'all think this is going on, that's reality. Don't wake me the fuck up. I want to stay the fuck asleep because y'all are crazy. Don't wake me up and put me in that. That is insane.
Here's what I think, man. I think that we kind of
time out, Dylan. Can I show this website real fast?
On cycles.
Hey, I'm showing this website. I've had it for over a year.
Oh my god.
Hey, what is wrong with y'all? Y'all don't want me to be successful with my website. I get it.
I want to be successful, Bobby, but it's not all about you, bro.
Fine. You guys can go at the end of this, and I'm going to have a website special. All right, Dylan, what do you think?
I like your website, by the way.
Thanks. I appreciate it. Jerk.
Killer website, bro. Is that Coors Light?
Super nard. Well, I'm pretty classy, so there's that.
Well, yeah. Fuck yeah, you're classy. That's why you got Coors Light, man. Probably got some Moose Drool up there where you're drinking, huh, Corey?
What is that?
I just drink juice.
Oh. Moose Drool, man. Big sky country up there. Montana, Alaska area. So, yeah, big sky. See, I was just, yeah. Fuck you, Bobby. Get educated.
So Dylan, what were you going to say before Bobby really interrupted you with these websites?
Yeah, I know. I was going to let you. I was about to ask you what you're about to say, and then you just tell me to go myself. And
I was trying to remember what I was saying.
So your go-to is tell me to go myself. Why are you trying to remember?
Well, yeah, it was a stall. It was a stall tactic, and clearly it's working. But now it's just being real awkward. So hold on a second. I'm gonna try to make this happen.
Okay. What you got, man?
Fuck.
Balls.
Oh no. Yeah. That's what I was gonna say. The Bohemian Grove. What are your thoughts, Corey?
The what?
Bohemian Grove.
Yeah, I got some thoughts on that.
Bohemian Grove.
Bohemian Rhapsody, but like the worst opposite thing.
Money influencing.
Corey knows what it is. There's no way you don't know
here in.
Corey, you really don't know what Bohemian Grove is. Alex Jones, like, I snuck in and I've videotaped on my VHS handheld recorder. They were worshiping idols and setting things on fire and making chants. Yeah. They're worshiping something.
Oh, that's where that comes from. I honestly, I've seen the video. I've never heard the term Bohemian Grove. Now I put it all together. Thank you.
Well, I'm kind of glad that you didn't know that's where it was.
That's what I'm here for, Corey. I just put the pieces in the puzzles and they smash it together.
Trust the plan. Trust the plan.
Well, I don't really understand why people assume a lot of these things. That they show this pagan ritual and say, well, but then they plug in, oh, these elites were there. Really? Where's your proof? All you're telling me is that they were there.
It looked like a bunch of drunk people got together like, hey, let's set some stuff on fire. What's that thing you were saying the other day? It sounded so stupid. Yeah, we're going to make all these pledges do it. Or
yeah.
You know? Like, how do we know that wasn't a frat party?
Well, I think that's what it is.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, Alex Jones is in on it.
How do I get invited? That's the question. Like, I've been trying to get invited to this damn frat party. And I'm just trying to know what's going on. You know,
you got to bring a
like,
sacrifice.
I'll be a cowboy. Hey guys, what's up, boys?
That's a frat boy or a cowboy?
Man. I mean, it's
Running Man.
Yeah, true.
All right,
Bobby, seriously.
I didn't hear what you said.
You got like 50,000 people go into the desert every year. Part of the big tall straw man.
Why would I know about that?
Oh yeah,
that's why I don't know about it. I'm never invited to those parties.
God, I want to be invited to those parties.
Running Man, and they're doing drugs and having sex. It doesn't sound like that's really.
No, but I'm glad that we all three did agree on one thing though. We did all agree that 90% of the world's opium comes from Afghanistan, and that's factual.
The heroin epidemic.
There's nothing that you can't debunk on that one.
Well, we didn't even bring up all the fentanyl that's used in China.
No, we didn't. We didn't bring up all the fentanyl.
Is that a new Apple MacBook or something? What is that?
What?
Is that a new operating system? Like, what's fentanyl? What do you mean?
Fentanyl?
Fentanyl, the drugs that are taking over the Midwest and killing everyone.
That's what they sold me. I didn't know what they were saying.
Yeah,
that was what was wrapped in the condom you shoved in your ass.
I thought it was your dick. Yeah, I know it was really small.
No, I raw dogged, dude.
This went from BG to I hope my parents don't see this real quick.
Yeah, well, that's because you brought it up.
Okay, Dylan. All right. Well, let's end this on a note of positivity. Corey, we're gonna let you go last. I'll say thank you guys for watching this episode with these two Marines. These guys are awesome. I appreciate it. I've been doing this for 3 years, and it's finally cool to get some people in here that are on a consistent basis that have the same goals as I do. Y'all are really distracting, so Dylan, your turn.
Well, hey, I'm glad that you have had me on, Bobby. Now, thanks a lot, Corey. It was a pleasure meeting you. I'm glad that we were able to speak a little bit. I'm just thankful that you allow me on, Bobby. Honestly, I mean, not many times will people let a crude drunking, former alcoholic, because I'm a sober, recovered alcoholic of 2.5 years now. So, and by the way, thank you. And I'll say this: thanks for just letting me be on, and that's all.
Oh, thanks for being on, Dylan. All right, Corey, People's Bartender, close us out.
Yes, well, thank you, Bobby, for hosting, and Dylan, it was a pleasure talking and meeting you. I certainly hope we can do this again. And maybe have a bit more structure. But I do enjoy. I did enjoy the conversation, and look forward to more of it in the future. I'm available whenever I'm in, and yeah, looking forward to next time.
All right. See you later,
I concur.
Boom. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Be sure to hit that subscribe button for us if you enjoyed this or want to see more shenanigans. And we'll go from here. Appreciate it.
Good job. Hello?
Hello.
Can you hear me?
We got that music playing. All right. Can you hear me?